role of the teacher in the classroom? Who can give me an idea? Just raise your hand, let me see who can give me an idea of what is the role of the teacher. What does that mean?
Make sure you learn.
Kadesha, what's the role of the teacher?
To create successful students ready for that big world out there.
All right, to create successful students ready for that big world out there. Very good, Kadesha. What you got, Scott?
I said to teach a lesson, facilitate.
To teach a lesson, to facilitate. What does it mean to facilitate?
Like make sure we on track.
Why you got this shit?
If I'm facilitating, that means that that I've given you something to express yourself so all I have to do is monitor whether or not you're doing it right. All right. So what about the role of the class of the student? What's the role of the student? Show of hands. Let me see. Go ahead. Participate.
Huh?
What you got?
I know.
That's all right. But what's the role of the student? To learn. How you learn? What's the role of the student? To what? To get your education. All right. So and with that, what is the role of your classmates? How do your classmates play a role in the whole situation? Go ahead.
I said get to respect and give each other space.
All right, give respect and space. Isaiah, what you got? You don't have nothing yet? Kenneth, what you have? What's your role of your classmates? What's your role of your classmates?
I said make sure I do my work and make sure I got a connection with the teacher.
Make sure you have a connection with the teacher. Make sure you do your work. Amari, what you got?
What I got?
What's the role of your classmates?
With the classmates, they should all stay on task.
They should all stay on task.
Yeah.
All right. So what should happen if, ladies and gentlemen, what should happen if any of the classroom participants fail to or are not playing their part? What should happen? What should happen if the participants are not playing their part? What you got, Kendra?
Should have a meeting and discuss the expectations.
All right, so they should have a meeting and address the expectations. What else? What else can we do to prevent some of the things that happen in class?
They should be punished.
They should be punished. What kind of
You gonna
punishment?
be the main one.
I don't be that bad.
Capital punishment. What's capital? What kind of punishment?
For the teacher?
Yeah. What's the punishment for the teacher? The teacher's not on.
Oh my God. Use the big word.
Hey.
Fire.
That if the teacher is not on task, that means that he should be or she should be. But what about the students?
We always get punishment.
What kind of punishment?
Right? So we always do.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, Stephen, Ms. Macmillan. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, one of the reasons why I put this up here is because we were getting a little off task. All right. At the beginning of the class, we said that there are certain things that we're going to follow, certain codes that we're going to follow as teacher, as student. It is very difficult for us to complete a task, or for you to get what you need if we don't follow through on what we decided. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have an agenda. We know the times that on what we're supposed to be doing at that time. When you come to class, we know that you have your warm-up. Then we get into our lesson study. Lesson study means that I'm either giving notes or I'm talking to you about what it is that we're doing for the day. At that point in time, the distractions, the talking, is taking away from everybody getting what they need, because we need to get what we need as students, as teachers, right? When you get to individual practice and collaboration, you're supposed to be talking about what was just relayed to you. All right. I know that some of us do get off task, but we need to get back on task because we have a lot of work to do for this year. All right. And then if we have a second set of notes, then again, that's when I will be disseminating information. That's when I need your undivided attention. Independent work. Once again, that's when you can elaborate, you could talk, you could investigate what is going on, what we're talking about, and you can be as innovative as you want. And of course, our exit ticket. So that's our agenda. All I'm asking is that we take time to uphold what we said, and so that everybody can get what they need. Now, when a teacher comes in a classroom, a teacher can actually tell which students are struggling, which ones are not. And the teacher can also tell which students will go on and which one will not, very early. And I have not seen that in this class, that there is no one in this class that I believe that will have problems in this class if they do what they need to do. So I believe, I believe that everybody here, this is class of 2017, will graduate on time. There is no one in here in this class right now that will not graduate on time. And I'm going to do my part. I'm just asking that you do yours. Got it? All right. So with that being said,
Everybody ain't graduate.
huh?
Everybody ain't graduate.
Next year? You're not graduating next year?
Nobody
You graduating this year? Well, you see, there you go. So Mr. Kenneth is going to graduate this year. We're going to make sure Kenneth graduates. So everybody has to play a role in that. Right?
No, I don't need to play a role.
Yeah, everybody has to play a role because Kenneth has to be able to get the information that he needs. All right, so here we do. Here you go. Can someone read this for me? I need a volunteer. Someone raise your hand, volunteer, and read this for me. Go ahead, Tanaya.
Mentally do it. Someone in you can believe in what?
You read it.
But that makes sense.
Just read it. Just read it.
Can believe in the power of change physically that you can plan. That you can gain and absorb.
All right. So
That makes sense.
it doesn't make any sense to you? Does it make any sense to anybody? No? All right. So yeah. So it says mentally do it. Someone in you can believe in the power and change physically that you can gain and of your. That make sense?
No.
All right. So this is what, and why I put it that way is because I know some of you are looking at math like this. It doesn't make any sense to you right now, right? It doesn't, because you're like, oh well, all we're doing is last time we did exponents, we did radicals. You're like, oh man, what does it mean? All right. So the thing is that I know that it looks like this, but what we as math teachers understand is that there is a process. There are certain things that you have to put together, because in English you know all of these words, but they have to be put together in a certain way so that you can understand it, right? So that's what we're doing. We're putting it together so that you can start understanding how it works. Now, read that for me. It's the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, read it.
The power of someone believing in you that can do it can mentally and physically change your game.
So you see the same words, just put together differently, means something totally different. The power of someone believing in you that you can do it can mentally and physically change your game. That's why I'm here. This is my purpose.
The power of someone believing.
My purpose is to come here to believe that you can do it and to help you change that game. And I'm going to do that. That's why I'm here. All right? So, think about how we can change. Think about how we can change the world mathematically. Think about how we can change the community mathematically. All right? And then we'll talk about some more. Students will be able to solve. Yes, these are notes. Somebody just went to the restroom, so we're gonna take our time and go to the restroom after when he comes back.
You want to
All right. Yes, we're writing it. So we're gonna solve equations that require multi-steps.
But when I turn it, nah. Not no more. I was.
You had a book right there.
Including a variable on both sides.
You need to remove that. Oh, you got to take up.
That what?
I put it in my
What?
The teacher needs to move that.
Oh, you did? All right. And that's what I want to hear. So you're gonna move at a reasonable pace. But the reasonable pace has to be a pace where I'm not distracted by people talking.
Alright.
Right, where are we? This is where we at? Kadesha. So step one.
Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing.
Wasn't even nothing like that, Jay. I should have asked the question.
Please don't say nothing.
So, yes, so step one, we're gonna combine like terms on the same side of the
Say
equation.
nothing, sis.
So we're gonna look at each side of the equal sign and combine the like terms that are there. What constitutes a term?
Right there.
Sis.
No, that's a question for you. What constitutes a term? We talked about that before.
My man told me don't say nothing.
What's a term? Can anybody tell me? Can anybody flip back to what we said a term was and tell me what a term, what's a term?
One term, a variable, a number, or the product of a number.
Right, so a term is a number, a variable, or a combination of the two.
Cause she was talking, that's her mouth.
Yeah, but the talking that's supposed to be happening right now.
Not like that.
Right now. Alright, so, or use the distributive property wherever necessary. And you can remove any fractions if you need to by multiplying both sides of the equation by the number in the fractions denominator. And we'll see examples of that in a few minutes. Macmillan on task, thank you very much.
Hey, Jay, we got what's the name of that?
That's why I said, during this time, it's not multitasking, it's just focus. You want to talk?
Where you going for this? I mean, I got it.
Are you ready?
What's her name? He's talking about the lady with the glasses, right? No. Oh, no, I got it.
All right, moving on.
Did your brother?
Hey,
The
hey,
tiny
No, I gotta get it.
You get a war from, you got water?
No.
You go ahead.
all right, there we go.
Put away. Put away.
We're going to get rid of one of the variables by either adding or subtracting it to both sides of the equation. I know you know this.
No, it ain't you.
Exactly. Be quiet.
Good job.
Yes, a lot of you know this. It's just a matter of applying it. So we have, that's one of the reasons why I went back to it, because we saw a lot of issues with application. So we're gonna just make sure that you have it. Because the thing with multi-step equations is that it's done throughout Algebra 2. No matter where you go, no matter what function that we're looking at, we have to do multi-step equations. We have to be able to move things around in our equation so that it gives us an easier equation to work with.
Where are you?
Our third step. Our third step is now that we have a two-step equation and we can solve it. We can solve it a lot easier with two steps than with multi-steps.
to do an in part
All right, here we go. Ready? Here's our first example. Let's take a look at it.
know both.
First example, we have
Who y'all calling like that?
2x minus 3 plus 6x is equal to 13. What can we do with our, what should we be doing, what should we do first?
I'm thinking I still have it for
Subtract.
I might lose.
Add.
I still got that phone.
What was our first step?
Combine like terms.
Combine like terms. So what terms can we combine?
2x and 6x.
2x and 6x. How do we combine them?
Add them.
We're adding them. There you go. You combine them on each side first.
Turn to 8x.
Wait a minute. So we're combining 2 and 6. That's the first thing that we combine. So combine them. What do we get? 8x. Huh?
Put it under it.
Right. So we combine our like terms, 8x. And then we have to combine again. We're going to combine
-3 and 13.
-3 and 13. How do we combine those two?
Add 3.
You add 3 both sides.
You add 3 on both sides. Why? Because you want to get
X by itself.
x by itself.
X by itself, yeah.
All right, so you have your positive 3, add 3 on both sides.
Now you come to divide.
Now you have a 2-step equation. In fact, now you have a 1-step equation. So solve it. Yes, Ms. Macmillan, go ahead. Yes. So we're gonna divide both sides by 8. So we get x is equal to 2. All right, sweet. So now that we know and now that we understand what it is that we're doing by getting all our variables together, getting all our numbers together so that we can find out, get a unit value for our variable. So here's the second one. What do those 2 arrows mean?
Double cheeseburger. You gotta put the
Multiply by everything in the
You gotta write the examples down?
Yeah.
Go to step 1 for me.
Huh?
Go to the steps for me.
I'll go to the step.
Only got step 3.
Okay, I'll go to the step now.
All
All right, so that process is called the distributive property, right? So distribute.
Distributing 3x times minus. Always
That's the point. You just talk about it. When you you pay attention. When you ain't got to practice what you do. All right. It is a problem because you're not.
See, how you think you so good? Like James first pass to the NFL career. Pick.
Right, Devin, what do we get? What do we get when we distribute?
It's a pick.
3x and
That's right.
-12. All right, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. 3x minus 12.
48.
I got that. It is gonna be 3x 48.
You gotta do.
And then we add on both sides. Like Isaiah said. So we're gonna add on both sides. We're gonna get 3x is equal to 48. And then we follow up with division. So what is the main theme that we see here? What's happening at the end? At the end, what's the process that we're always doing at the end? We're always dividing somewhere because we're always trying to make get that x by itself. So we're always dividing at the end. All right. So that's one of the things that we can look at. All right. So here's another one. Boom. We're back.
When you do that with the first one?
What did the note say that we do with our fraction?
You
subtract 2x minus, I
Don't do it.
mean,
Nah, you take it and you multiply it like on both sides, something like that.
Right, you multiply on both sides because the first thing that you always want to do is you always want to get rid of that fraction. If you keep that fraction in there, it's going to mess up your whole equation. So let's get rid of the fraction. And since it's a division, we know that we're doing the opposite operation, so we're going to multiply on both sides.
what we multiply 7?
What's that?
Huh?
That's multiply, sir.
Yeah, that's a multiply sign. That's a little, the little asterisk.
12 multiply.
So it's gonna be- So we're gonna multiply 7 on one side, and then we're gonna multiply 12 by 7 on the other side.
I don't know how to do
Alright,
that.
press the next step.
Alright, so you see here when we multiply on this side, these two will cancel out from our cross multiplication. Remember we did that last week. Our cross multiplication will take care of that. So we're gonna end up with 2x plus 2 is equal to 84.
Oh my God, man, lobster. Square quarter, get a dog.
Right, Kendra,
Are you minus?
you minus 2 on both sides. No, you minus, because remember we have to get rid of move the 2 first. So we're gonna move the 2 and then,
2x equals 82.
right, so we get 2x is equal to 82 and then we can divide both sides by,
Hold on, 41.
so your x will be equal to
No, she wasn't what?
41. 5x plus 2 is equal to 2x plus 14. Take 2 minutes, get that done, and then we'll take a look at it. See the notes on the side.
Benito stay, yeah. Benito stay.
I call it how I see it.
Alright, so we have to make sure that we get them all on one side. All the x's on one side, all the numbers on one side. How do we do that?
Hey, Lord.
She was calling me in ninth grade, man.
Right, so, but how do you do that? What methods do you use to get that there? No?
This don't got what I need.
No, we would have never
Huh? You can just fill in the blanks. I'll get you the blanks.
Nah.
Hey, that was funny.
Yeah, but bring over.
You gotta keep, but you gotta subtract 2 and then subtract it from the other side.
Just fill it on.
I'm gonna give you the notes in a minute.
Mr. Law,
Just right here.
It's combined like terms.
Mr. Law,
2 years, he goes to the quarters, and the quarters goes on the book.
I'm confused.
Right.
Mr. Law.
I didn't give me a white.
Yep. Okay,
Mr.
so
Law, that's
no, there's no decimal point.
I got 9.
That's hilarious.
You got 9.
No, okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen up. See, this is one of the reasons why I need you to pay attention. Here we go. So we have to move our variables, our like variables, to the same side. So how do you move? How do you move 2x to this side?
You subtract.
Subtract 2 from both sides. So we can subtract 2x from both sides. All right. If you subtract 2x, 5x minus 2x gives us what?
3.
Right? It gives us 3x.
Yes.
So you have 3x plus 2, you bring it down. You're moving the 2 over. So you're going to subtract 2 from both sides. Yes, we need all the x's on one side. Right, so it's going to be 3x is equal to 12. And what is 12 divided by 3? 4, not 7.
Black.
That's why I need y'all to focus for
It's still not
15 minutes.
Yes.
Alright, so then we get our 3x, divide both sides by 3, and we get our x is equal to 4.
Oh, I did my division wrong.
That was a bad one.
That's this was blood. Damn, girl.
So, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, this is,
I'm gonna help you out.
this topic,
Where?
this topic is
I get that.
very, very foundational for everything that we do in Algebra 2. So if you're not able to do this, then you will have a lot of problems as we go along. So that's why I need your undivided attention right now. All right? Kenneth, I really truly do need your undivided attention. So can you stop, messing with those ladies for now?
I got you.
Thank you. All right? So, here's another one. Let's think about it first. Think about it first. What do you do? Once you see parentheses, what do you do? You distribute.
Then that's
All right. And then you start with the other processes.
It's kind of like the other one, right? But at first you got.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Help me then. Right.
Help me, man.
How's it going?
You know it.
What you see?
What's going on? You all right?
No, I'm confused. So what you supposed to do? Add these two?
No, you distribute. Remember, distributive property first. So you're going to multiply everything in the parentheses by 5. You're going to multiply everything in the parentheses by 2.
So this would be 45.
Yes, it would be. So it would be 5x plus. There you go. And now you get started.
Go back to me real quick.
Oh, the previous one?
Yeah, real quick.
All right, what's the steps in the previous one?
So it's like the previous one.
So you did 2x on both sides, you try to do that way.
That's when you had to subtract two.
It is. It was just like the last one. Yeah.
Subtract two from what?
They ain't. See, I told you that I was back here talking, but I said,
But I don't need you talking.
I get my stuff, I get it.
All
It's a lot.
right, so the same thing that we did the last time. But this week we have to multiply it by
And then it's minus 45, minus 45,
Mr. Law, how many?
I got it, hello.
Negative.
Not 11.
So long, you got it? I got it. I want to do it now.
Yeah, do me a negative number.
I want to do it.
But do it.
Yeah.
Maybe 26.
Jump on there right real quick.
Oh, yeah, that is. Nice.
Can you go back to the 7, what's the name?
No, man.
Hey, the first person to get it.
You
so
was
I
3 days off, I was 3 days off.
No, you 2 days.
I was 2 days, what'd I say? 13.
3 X equals negative 30.
No, I forget because you don't have the same.